welcome to your practice today. Thanks for joining me on the mat. Start off in a comfortable seated position. You can sit on a block, on the floor, legs doing whatever you like. Once you find your comfortable seat, just let your eyes close. Take a moment to bring your awareness into the space of the body. Feel the hips or the legs on the mat. Gently wrap the belly in, supporting the spine. Lift the chest, relax the shoulders. Tuck the chin in slightly so that the back of the neck gets long, the crown of the head floats up. Then bring awareness to the breath. Just observe as it moves in and out of the body. We'll begin the practice chanting Om 3 times together. Focus on the sound, the vibration in the body, and all of the beings around you, all of those who are practicing this class with you, though maybe not at the same time. We're all a community together still. Take a deep breath in. Continue to focus on the breath. And just without too much effort, start to lengthen the inhale, lengthen the exhale. Nothing forced. Just a natural deepening of the breath. And then after your next inhale, just take a pause at the top of the breath before exhaling. Inhale, pause, exhale. Inhale, pause, exhale. Continue to breathe like this. Just dragging the breath out, finding the spaces that naturally exist there. And then blink the eyes open. Come onto hands and knees. We'll start moving through cat and cow with your inhale. Lift the chest, lift the hips. Gently pull the knees and the hands towards each other. Exhale, draw the belly in, press the floor away. Inhale, lifting up. Exhale, rounding. You can continue like this or take any movements that would feel good in the body. I like to turn my fingertips back towards my knees here, get a stretch for the wrists. You can even sit the heels back towards, hips back towards the heels to deepen that stretch. You can come onto the backs of the wrists if that's okay for your body. Maybe just one at a time if it's too intense with both together. You can make little fists. And eventually come back onto hands and knees. straight back. Tuck the toes under. Float the shins. And just lift up to downward facing dog, keeping a bend in the knees, lifting the heels. And then gradually straighten the knees, let the heels settle towards the mat. And the heels never need to touch the mat. They may reach it, they may not. Just heading in that direction. On your next breath in, come forward to plank. And exhale, hug the elbows in, lower all the way down. Inhale, lift the chest up, lift the body. You can reach the fingers back towards the toes. If it would feel good right now, you can interlace the hands just to get a deeper stretch across the chest and shoulders. And your ankles and your heels are lifting. Take one more breath here. Release down, tuck the toes. Press back to plank. Lift the hips, downward facing dog. Walk the feet up to the top of the mat. Bending the knees as much as you need to so that the chest and thighs can rest together. Let the head hang heavy. Relax the neck. Relax the jaw. On your next inhale, little lift, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, palms together, sweep up to a standing position. Reach through the fingertips, look up towards the hands. Exhale, hands together at the heart. Close or soften the eyes, focus on the space between the eyebrows. If you'd like to set an intention or dedication for the practice, this is the time. Maybe just offering your efforts to someone, maybe that you're not able to see right now, just out into the world. May all beings enjoy this practice through our bodies and through our senses. Blink your eyes open as you inhale. Reach the arms up and back. Exhale, fold over the legs, hands to the mat. Inhale, right foot steps back. Lower the knee, look up. Left foot steps to plank. Exhale, lower knees, chest and chin. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, tuck the toes, lift the hips, downward facing dog. Inhale, right foot steps between the hands, lower the back knee. Look up. Exhale, left foot steps. Inhale, heavy feet, strong legs, reach the arms up. Exhale, hands together at the heart. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, left foot steps back. Lower the knee. Look up. Right foot steps to plank. Exhale, lower knees, chest and chin. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, left foot steps. Lower the back knee. Look up. Exhale, right foot steps. Inhale, feel the feet connect with the mat as you reach up. Exhale, hands to the heart, pranayama. Repeating that one more time each side. Inhale, hasta uttanasana. Exhale, uttanasana. Inhale, right foot, ashvasanshalasana. Left foot, phalakasana. Exhale, ashtanga namaskara. Inhale, bhujangasana. Exhale, adho mukha svanasana. Inhale, right foot, ashvasanshalasana. Left foot, uttanasana. Inhale, hasta uttanasana. Exhale, pranayama. And last time, inhale up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, left foot. Right foot. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, press back. Inhale, left foot. Exhale, right foot. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, hands to the heart. And release the fingers, Kali Mudra, so the first finger points up. All the other fingers fold over. Reach straight up, get tall through the body. Then just lift the chest. Tailbone is heavy. And the arms naturally start to draw back. Just finding as much length as you can through the front of the body. Don't even worry about the back bend. Just lengthen, lengthen, lengthen. And maybe the back of the chest, back of the hands are just heavy enough. It pulls you into a back bend. One more breath here. And then release. Exhale, fold over the legs. Draw the body close to the legs. You can bend the knees here. Legs can be straight. Grab opposite elbows behind the knees. And then, as you're able, work your forearms down towards your feet. So just sort of ironing the torso and the legs together. Crown of the head is heavy. Just feel the brain supported by the skull. Able to shut off for the remainder of practice. Just let the body move on its own. On your next breath in, lift the chest, lift the spine, hands to the shins or palms to the floor. Exhale, step or float back. Move through a vinyasa. You can stick with knees, chest, chin, or coming forward into chaturanga. Inhale, cobra, or upward facing dog. Exhale to downward facing dog, maybe snaking through the spine. When you get to downward facing dog, let the chest rise and fall with the breath. Crown of the head heavy, hips lifted high. Settling into the breath. On your next inhale, right heel is heavy, lift the left leg high. Press the floor away with the hands and feel that top foot pulling you up. So naturally that right heel gets a little bit heavier. One more breath here. On your exhale, bring the left foot forward between the hands. Lower the back knee, untuck the toes, coming into Kapiyasana. Coming up and release the hands again, Kali Mudra. First finger reaching straight up. Lift the arms overhead. You can wiggle the shoulders around here a little bit. Start to stretch them back before lifting up. Lifting the chest, taking the tailbone towards the heels. Moving into the pose. And once you're there, gently draw the biceps back and the head. Biceps and the head. Feel the top of the back foot pressing into the mat. Reach through the palms, through the fingers. Just stretch the top arm out. Take one more breath here. Release into an open twist. Shift the hips back, bring the left hand to the inside of the left foot. Right arm opens to the ceiling. You can bind the pose if that would feel good right now. Stretching the chest forward, turning it up towards the ceiling. Take one more breath. Exhale, moving into lizard. Hands to the inside of the front foot, Tuck the back toes, straighten the leg, and just rocking forward and back to release the legs and hips. You might lower the right forearm down, maybe both forearms, hugging the left knee in towards the shoulders, stretching the heart forward. Always free to take any variations here that you know. Long line from the right heel, knee is lifted, belly in, chest stretches out away from the heel, crown of the head in the same line as the chest, so that the gaze naturally falls maybe just between the fingertips, beyond the tip of the mat, and focusing there. Take one more breath. And then plant the hands, step to plank. Inhale here. Press onto the toes, exhale, bend the elbows, hugging them in towards the ribs, lower any amount. Inhale, press the plank. Exhale, lower. Inhale, press the plank. Again, and maybe it just looks like this, just an inch. Exhale, lower. Inhale, press the plank. And one more. Exhale, lower. Inhale, press the plank. Lower the knees, lower the chest, chin, Ashtanga Namaskara. Holding this pose here, draw the knees, the chest towards each other. Shoulder blades hugging in, navel towards the spine. Take one more breath. Then coming through Cobra or Upward Facing Dog. If you're in Upward Facing Dog, really lift the knees, press the floor away. Exhale, Downward Facing Dog. Rise and fall with the breath. On your next inhale, left heel gets heavy, right leg floats up. Press through the hands. Lift through the right toes. And when you do that, just a little bit more weight can come into that left heel, bringing it towards the mat. One more breath. Exhale. Step the right foot forward. Bring the back knee down and tuck the toes. And lifting up. Interlace hands, Kali Mudra. Reach the arms up. Wiggle them around if that's helpful. And then lift up. Draw back. Tailbone towards the front heel. Feet pulling in towards each other. Draw the biceps back. And the head. Biceps and the head. Pull the arms long. Take one more breath. Release. Hips shift back. As the right hand comes down inside the front foot, left arm opens up. Stretch the chest forward away from that left hip. Draw the belly in. Roll the heart towards the ceiling. And on your next exhale, move into lizard. Uttanam Kristasana. Hands to the floor, tuck the back toes, straightening the leg. And just press yourself forward and back, using the back foot. Maybe the left forearm lowers, maybe both. Back heel, pulling strongly towards the back of the room, navel drawing in, chest stretching forward. Find a steady gaze. Taking whatever variation you took on the first side. And then just breathing. Nothing else to worry about right now. Just staring at that one point on the floor. Everything else softens away. And then release the pose, plant the hands, step to plank. Vashisthasana, side plank. Coming onto the left hand, outer edge of the left foot, or you can drop the knee. Kickstand the foot out. Press into the left hand, right arm opens up. Hug the shoulder blades towards the spine, and the chest can stretch away from the heels. Maybe the top foot steps back, bringing the sole of the other foot onto the mat. So it's like you're moving towards Urdhva You might even take this top hand, bring it back. And when you get your weight really solidly on that bottom foot, the top foot becomes light. And you can play around with picking it up, maybe grabbing the knee. One more breath here. And then slowly moving back to plank. No rush to get there. Same thing other side. So weight on the right hand. Maybe dropping the knee or keeping the legs straight. Tailbone stretches away from the heels. Maybe starts to roll open. You can step the top foot back, bringing the sole of that other foot to the floor. You might even bend the knee. Get the weight fully in that right foot so that you can play around with lifting this other leg. And then maybe you hold it. One more breath. Slowly moving back to plank. Inhale here. Exhale, move through a vinyasa. Back to downward facing dog. See if you can put a little more weight in the legs. Just imagining someone that you really trust standing behind you and gently grabbing onto your hip right here. And just drawing the hips back so that the heels get a little bit heavier, a little more length in the spine. And breathe. On your inhale, lift the left leg high. And you're just going to walk the hands back towards that right foot. Take your gaze to your right big toe. You can keep the hands here. You can wrap the right hand around the ankle, maybe the left hand. The top leg can bend any amount. Just think about stretching the thighs away from each other. You're reaching through the top toes. And one more breath here. And you lift that leg just an inch higher. And then place the hands on the floor if they're not already there. And let a little weight come into the hands. Maybe come up onto the ball, that standing leg. That standing leg can bend. And then maybe let the weight just fall into the hands. And if you're near a wall, just turn to face the wall if you're worried about falling over. And maybe you switch the legs in the air. Nothing big or rushed. Just a little switch. Toes pulling you upward. And the next time you find your left leg in the air, stay where you are. And then walk the hands back out to downward facing dog. Return the left foot to the mat. On your inhale, come forward to plank. We'll take Vashisthasana again one more time each side. Left hand outer edge of the left foot, or drop the left knee. Right arm lifts up. Maybe the top foot steps back. Chest rolls open. Maybe take a hold of the knee. Maybe you reach for the big toe or the heel. One more breath. Slowly return to plank. Second side. Right hand, right knee, or foot. Finding length in the body, then arcing the hips up. Maybe the foot steps back. Maybe the knee lifts. If the knee lifts, maybe take a hold of the toes. One more breath. And slowly, no rush, back to plank. Inhale here. Stretch the chest forward. Exhale through the vinyasa. Inhale, lift. Exhale, downward facing dog. Now imagine again that person that you trust standing behind you, holding on to the hips and just gently drawing you back so that the heels get a little bit heavier. More weight in the legs. And then inhale, right leg is high. Stretch through the right toes, keeping the right leg straight, or you can bend it. Walk the hands back. See if you can feel the weight float over the left leg. Gazes to the left toe, maybe the left hand comes to the ankle. For more of a balanced challenge, take the right hand to the ankle as well. Just focusing on the big toe, reaching through the top leg. One more breath. Lift the leg just a little bit higher. Bring the hands to the mat, about a foot in front of the toes. You can bend either leg here. Let the weight come into the hands, especially the inner, or especially the first knuckle. Gazes between the thumbs. And you might come onto the ball of that standing foot and just let the top leg float up. Maybe the legs switch in the air. Good. And the next time the right leg is in the air, staying where you are, walking back out to three-legged dog, and lower the foot. And one more vinyasa. Inhale here. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, downward facing dog. And just walk both hands back to the feet. First two fingers grab the big toes for Padangusthasana. Bend the knees if you need to. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, pull up with the fingers, press down with the toes. Body irons to the legs. Head is heavy. Focus on the space between the eyebrows. One more breath here. And then release, bend the knees. Ragdoll up to a standing position. Inhale, reach the arms overhead. And And then blink the eyes open. We're going to do a really simple balance today. You're going to let the weight come onto the left foot, hands together in front of the heart. And just take your right toes on top of the left foot. So you can prop your right heel on the left ankle. Standing up tall, start to soften your gaze to the tip of the nose. And just notice. And then start to close the eyes. Your foot's really close to the floor. If you lose your balance, it's pretty low stakes here. Just challenging yourself to keep the eyes closed. See what happens, see what you find there. One more breath. Open the eyes. Lift the knee. Reach the arms overhead as you extend the leg out in front of you. For 3, 2, 1. Release the foot. Release the hands. Let the weight pour into the right foot. Left foot just props on top of the right foot. Nothing fancy. And start to soften the gaze to the tip of the nose. Imagine a tiny golden thread, maybe even just a spider web attached to the top of the head. So you float, gently pulled up. Let the eyes close. And just challenge yourself to see what happens. No big deal if the left foot needs to step off. One more breath here. Open the eyes. Draw the left knee in. Extend the arms up. Extend the left leg out for 3, 2, 1. Feet together. Hands together. Inhale, reach the arms overhead. And then just circle them around. Interlace the hands behind you. But instead of interlacing them with the heels of the hands together, flip them so that your hands are open. I'm just showing you here. So that the palms of your hands are facing the floor. Just getting a nice stretch for the fingers, for the palms. And you can start to fold over here. Sometimes I flip my hands the other way to fold and then reopen them if that feels too funny. You can just bring the heels of the hands together as you fold. One more breath. And then release the hands. From here, we're going to move into any inversion that you like. So if you want to continue to work on handstands, maybe at the wall, you can do handstands. Practicing at home is a great opportunity to work on your handstands. You can do forearm balance, or you can do headstand. So I'm going to teach forearm balance today, but feel free, if you're more comfortable or want to be more challenged by something else today, to do that. Just get upside down. You can always do downward facing dog. You can always do legs up the wall. So any kind of inversion. If you want to do a forearm balance with me, we're going to take our arms on the floor in a V shape. Fingertips together, elbows shoulder width apart. Then tuck the toes, lift the hips, like downward facing dog. And before you go anywhere, hug your forearms towards each other. Press the hands into the mat so that your chest slides towards the toes. And then walk the toes in. Lift either leg, whichever feels more natural, and just take little hops. If you keep the legs split, the balance will be easier if you find a little bit of air time. And just like before, maybe you switch the legs in the air. Eventually, the legs will come into a straight position overhead, but no rush to get there. You can come down and take a little break and then move back into it. When you're upside down, really think of pressing your elbows away from your shoulders. So pressing elbows into the mat to help engage the shoulders and hugging the forearms towards each other. So trying it one more time, or if you're doing something else, taking a few more breaths, maybe just finding a little bit of air time. And slowly making your way down into child's pose. Let the hips be heavy. Arms can be extended or alongside the body. And just let the forehead melt into the mat. Everything is completely relaxed. Nothing to do right now. And then roll up to a seated position. Just turn, face the other direction. We'll move into shoulder stand from here. So again, you have the option of legs up the wall if you prefer that. Otherwise, rolling back, walk the hands up. Bringing elbows closer together so the arms can walk higher. Heels moving away from the face. Let the eyes close or soften. Focus on the space between the eyebrows. And slowly fold the legs overhead. Toes to the floor. If the toes don't reach the floor, bend the knees to the forehead. Or you can squeeze the ears with the knees. Karnapidasana. Rolling the spine to the mat, coming into Matsyasana, the fish. Hands below the tailbone, lift the chest up, let the head fall back. Focus on the space between the eyebrows. One more breath here. And then relax onto the mat. Take 2 deep breaths. A tiny little nap. Recharge. And then blink the eyes open, hug the knees in, and rock yourself up to a seated position. So you can keep the legs floated. You're going to come in to Navasana. The legs can be bent or straight. You're going to stay here. On your exhale, start to draw the belly in, extend the legs out. Arms alongside you. Ardha Navasana, like a little canoe. Chest is lifted, heels are lifted. On your next inhale, return back up. Pranayama. Cross the ankles, bring the heels in towards the seat. And then plant the hands, maybe a little press up. And this one depends on proportions. If you've got shorter arms, you might need blocks under the hands to get your hips off of the ground. And then back to Navasana. Inhale here. Exhale, open up. Maybe the arms reach straight up. Inhale, lift. Cross the ankles. Press up. And back down. Last time. Inhale here. Exhale, open up. Maybe the arms reach overhead. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, a little press, and back down. Extend the legs out in front of you. Paschimottanasana. Sitting up tall, reach the arms overhead. On your exhale, stretch the chest forward towards the big toes. You can hold on to the outer edges of the feet. You can bind the hands beyond the feet. You can bend the knees. When you get the maximum length out of the spine, and you feel like you're really ironed towards the legs, chest and thighs are touching, whether or not the legs are straight, then let the body start to soften, just so the head can relax. Keep the chest stretching towards the big toes. Next inhale, lifting up. And then reaching the left arm up, or right arm up. We're going to turn this into a little twist. And my screen has just gone off, so I'm going to make sure that it's still recording. Okay, we're good. Okay. Sorry about that. Alright. So that reach the arms up, reach the right arm up. You're going to take a twist so that my right hand is coming to the outside of my left foot. And you might bend the knee, and you might stay right here, taking the left arm behind, just a little twist. You might take the palm up and flip it backwards, so my thumb is down, my elbow is down. And so it's kind of an awkward position, but you can really pull on that left foot, stretching the chest forward. And notice that your left hip, left foot want to stretch backwards. Press that foot forwards so your feet stay even with each other. You might stay here. And really finish off the twist. Probably reach up Paschimottanasana. Lift the left arm up and over. Taking a hold of the outer edge of the right foot. And you can pull with both hands. Draw the belly in to a really deep folding twist here. And any of those stops along the way are great. They'll give you the same benefits. Just different bodies need different expressions of the pose. Keep stretching the chest forward, rolling it open. One more breath. Release. And just notice the effects of that twisting forward fold. Feels pretty powerful. And we'll do the other side. So lifting the left arm up. You're going to start reaching forward. I'll do this facing you this time. And so maybe right leg is bent, right hand is behind. Looks like this. If it's available for your body, you can turn the palm up. Flip the palm back so that my palm is facing my right foot. Thumb is down. Elbow is on the floor. And you can use the right hand on the floor anywhere here. Or if it's okay for your body, stretch the right arm up. Take a hold of the outer left foot, pressing through both feet so that that left foot doesn't sneak too far forward of the right foot. Sternum reaches forward, right shoulder opens up. Slow, steady breath. One more here. And release. Coming up. Just observing. And then we'll come into a back bend. So rolling on to our backs, setting up for Setu Bandhasana. Bridge or wheel. Heels toward the seat. Hands alongside the legs, or if you're coming onto the hands, hands by the ears. On your inhale, lifting the hips, maybe lifting the head. If you're in bridge, you can clasp the hands, bring the shoulders together. Press into the heels so that you get weight in that spot just at the back of the neck. Chest stretching towards the chin. And from here, if you're in bridge, you might release the hands, plant them by the head. Come over so that you're on the head, and then press all the way up to Urdhva Dhanurasana. I'm going to stay up in the back bend. If you need to take 2 breaths, come out of the pose. At any time, you can lower down. Take 2 breaths, come back in. But we won't be here for too much longer. Pressing the floor away, lifting the hips, inner feet are heavy. Just take 1 more breath here. And then release, lowering down. Let the knees knock together or fall wide, whichever allows your back to relax more completely. And then hug the knees in. Rock up to a seated position. Setting up for a twist. Right foot to the outside of the left knee. Bring the left heel in or straighten the leg out. Right hand is behind. Inhale, left arm reaches up. Exhale into the twist. Anything you like with the arms. Fingers can reach up, reach down for this foot, or vine behind the back. Crown of the head floats up. And watch that ascending spiral traveling up along the spine, all the way to the crown of the head. One more breath. And slowly release. Sitting up tall, switching the legs. Inhale, reach the right arm up. Exhale, moving into the twist. Lower back presses in, the chest lifts. Whatever you like with the arms. Crown of the head floats up. Focus on the space between the eyebrows. One more breath. And slowly release. Setting yourself up for Shavasana. Taking any props that you like. Rolling onto the mat. Stretch the legs out. Let the palms rest facing up. And let yourself be heavy. Just melting into the mat. With your next exhale, let all of the air empty out of the body. Inhale, take a deep breath in. Fill every space, every cell, light like a balloon. Exhale, sigh. Release. Completely still for the next few minutes. Focus on the left foot. Relax the foot and the toes. Lower leg is heavy. Relax the upper leg and the hip, the whole leg, sinking into the floor. The right foot and toes completely relaxed. Lower leg heavy. Relax the right thigh and hip. The left hand, palm is soft. Relax the fingers, the thumb. Forearm sinks into the mat. Relax the upper arm and the shoulder. Right hand, palm is soft. Relax the fingers, the thumb. Forearm sinking, heavy. Upper arm, shoulders. Completely relaxed. All of the limbs heavy on the mat as if filled with wet sand. Totally relaxed. Let the entire length of the spine soften. All of the muscles of the back, shoulders, relax. Let the neck settle. Scalp is soft. Eyes still, heavy. Jaw is relaxed. The throat is soft. The chest is light and spacious. Belly is relaxed. The entire body is completely relaxed as if in deep sleep. Leave the body by itself. Leave the breath by itself. Go within. Begin to bring awareness to the breath. Just watch as it moves in and out of the body. Filling the chest and the belly, all the way to the tips of the fingers, tips of the toes. And making whatever movements you like, but letting the eyes stay closed. Eventually make your way to a seated position. When you find your seat, Just let there be a soft focus on the body as a whole. And let that soft focus gradually expand. Space around you, the space beyond that, space beyond that. And so that you see, you just notice that the boundary between yourself and the space around you softens, becomes more permeable. Less of a distinction between self and other. We'll close the practice chanting Om Shanti 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 together. Take a deep breath in. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Be receptive. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope this was helpful, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Namaste.